Jen, Niigaan, great to see you. Niigaan, welcome back, and of course, condolences to you and your family on the passing of your father. I thought you did an amazing, amazing job there on Sunday, so welcome back.
Thanks so much, and a big miigwech to everybody all across the Indigenous world for all the, I have more cards and letters and emails and Instagram messages than I think I've ever know what to do with. I've tried responding to everybody, but just big thanks, much love for my family. And it was a really hard time, but my dad was surrounded by all of us at the end when he took his last breath. And so he definitely knew that how much he was loved, not just by us, but by everybody.
Well, and this week some great news for yourself as well, as the winners of the Governor General's Literary Awards were named. You're on that list. Just your reaction to that.
Well, really blown away. I actually heard about the award when I was with my dad when we were in hospital, and so I got to share that moment with him. He was very pleased, very happy, and I think it was a funny moment because he always thought I'd be a lawyer, and he always wanted me to be a lawyer. And I think that getting a bit of achievement in the literary world or being a writer maybe surprised him a little bit, but also I think he was very proud. It is a bit of a tricky balance. I mean, I'll be honest, it's very weird to receive an award that's really a colonial award. It's an award that represents the crown, and so it's kind of one of those interesting moments as an Indigenous person where you're like, I'm really pleased to be recognized, really honored. At the same time, I wish they would call it something else, or maybe I wish it would be something not so colonial.
Jennifer, your opinion on the importance of these particular awards?
Now that Niigaan had called them colonial, I'm like, well, should I be saying anything positive? I think that at the end of the day, this is a really good example of how not only Canadian voices, but Indigenous voices can come in and make ripples and have their voices heard and stories heard, especially, allowing Canadian writers and, at the end of the day, people within their own artistic abilities to be able to be showcased on a national level like this is incredible. And I think about how many people maybe hadn't heard of some of these stories or didn't know about their impact until awards like this at such a big level were announced. And now it really just helps bring it all together and maybe promote your voice even further.
And Niigaan, when you started putting Winnipeg Visions of Canada from an Indigenous Centre together, did you have a goal in mind?
No, when I started pitching it to publishers, and I was encouraged very much by someone who I was working with in Toronto at the time to sort of start to think about bringing my columns together about my life, basically experiencing activism, all the incredible organizations, all the people who are resisting sort of violence and in Indigenous community, then also coming up with innovative solutions for it. And it was really pitched or visioned by many people in Toronto outside of Winnipeg as a regional book, right? And kind of something that would just to appeal to a few Winnipeggers. Maybe I should think about a regional publisher or a publisher in Winnipeg. And it was really the vision of those at McClellan and Stewart who then said, no, this could be a national book. This could be about a larger picture, maybe a bigger picture of what Winnipeg is showing to the country in terms of solutions. And so it was pretty exciting. And I was really, if it wasn't for my editor, Haley Cullingham, really believing in this book, I probably wouldn't have even published them altogether. I had no visions of awards, no visions of really doing anything with the book other than just having kind of a moment of my 5 and 6 years as being a columnist, collected in some way and some of the pieces that I'm most proud of. And so I'm really honored for anything that's happened since.
No kidding. Well, Jennifer, Niigaan, we're talking about this being a colonial award, but Indigenous writers took home 3 of the 7 awards. Jen, you think there's some significance to that?
I think so. I think anytime Indigenous writers or authors or artists in any way are acknowledged for the work that they do, it helps at the end of the day preserve our culture and preserve identity and amplify our stories. There's been a lot of really, really good books that have been honored over the years. And I think of, even Jody Wilson-Raybould's book on reconciliation. It's almost like an author putting together such meaningful words, but at the same time, it's almost like a toolkit. And I feel like these books and these pieces can also be incorporated into our education system to also encourage people to learn more about our culture but through various ways, rather than just be the traditional like how to that teachers try to incorporate into, classrooms. There's other ways to bring like reading at the top of the list for people to be able to engage and get to know who we are.
Absolutely. Well, Niigaan, again, congrats. We'll leave it there, you two, but thanks to you both for being here.
You gotcha. Thanks.
Thanks.